I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. To the moon. Yeah, I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, now bank the unbanked now. Everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. Everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see.
Hello everyone, let's get started. I have no financial interests, I have no sponsored links, and I don't want no donations, please. Today is basically the English version of the live stream I gave a week ago in German. I want to quickly talk about numbers from the Q1 report from Ripple. So let's dig in. I have to enable this here. So basically that sheet here is what I tried to achieve here is basically try to get an idea of the figures Ripple has been telling us. We know from Utility Scan that since October they have been transacting roughly I think it's billion, right, in ODL, in dollar. They said that they are kind of doubling every quarter, every month, the transactions, I think. Or no? Well, never mind. I think it was tripling every month. So basically I tried to figure how that would look like. Don't concentrate on those figures above. Just look at those figures I have marked in green. So let's say the ODL figures triple every quarter. We would have had 250 million in Q4 2019 and 750 million in Q1. In order to get to a decent amount of volume per quarter, and the second row actually, let me tell you that the second row here would be the daily volume, where the first one, the total here, is quarter volume. So as soon as we reach 10% of Swift market, like 500 billion a day. A day. We would reach that, pending that we would triple every quarter in like Q3 2022. Now, I don't think that this will happen so slowly. And I tried to get a feeling regarding transactions. Brad Garlinghouse told in an interview in last October with Pompliano that they were, there he said they were doubling, I think, the transaction volume every quarter. A month later, or less than a month later, I think it was like 3 weeks later, at Swell in Singapore, he said that in October 2019 they had the same amount of transactions as they had in 2018 in total. And that's what I basically tried to put out with those figures here, just to get an idea. So basically in Q4, I'm pretty sure that they had 1 million transactions per day. Now, in the interview with Pompliano asked him in which time period they have that million. In a month, in a quarter, in a month, in a week. And Brad was chuckling, knowing obviously that it's a daily figure. Why is it a daily figure? Because all those real-time or other payment systems report that figure on a daily basis. And in Europe, basically all cars advertise the top speed of their cars in kilometers per hour. Would be a bit confusing if a new car manufacturer would advertise in millimeters per, I don't know, day or so. No one would understand that figure. But kilometers per hour is understood, and transactions per day is understood as well. Now basically I tried to get a feeling what that basically means in terms of customers. So I took the 1 million transaction and the 300 roughly known customers of RippleNet, which gives us roughly 3,000 transactions per customer. Then I tried to figure out, is that real? And then I took as comparison the target 2 figures. There we have 1,600 participants, 340,000 transactions a day, which gives us an average of 200 transactions. So there is like factor 10 of RippleNet, so something cannot be right. Then I checked the figures from the CLS group, the group which basically does the actual settlement for the SWIFT network. I'm assuming they have as well 11,000 customers. They have 1 million transactions per day, same as Ripple, which would give us roughly 100 transactions per customer. Now on the SWIFT side, we know the same 11,000 customers worldwide, and SWIFT has daily roughly 30,000 FIN messages, but half of them are not payment messages. What I don't know, and no one could tell me so far, is if one FIN message is actually from start to end, or if on each hop it's creating a new message. That I didn't know. So in my calculation, I'm assuming here that it's end or start to end to end, if you so want. That would give us 1,300 roughly transactions per customer, which I assume, comparing with the 200, roughly 200 from Target 2 and the 100 from CLS group, this leads me to believe that indeed those 15 million transactions on SwiftNet are indeed not end to end, but do include each hop, because the figure is too far away from those. So, but the truth will be somewhere between 200 and 1300. So basically I gave it a try for RippleNet, and I used the same million transactions but with more customers, with 3,000 customers and 1,000 customers. By 3,000 I came to a figure of 300 payments. By 1,000 customers I came to a figure obviously of 1,000 transactions per customer. So also here the number will be somewhere in the middle of this 1,000 customers and 3,000 customers which are already on RippleNet. And I told that long before that. I even asked Navin Gupta as well about that. If customers from other, let's say, banking software providers which did have or do have RippleNet integrated count as RippleNet or Ripple customers as well, and he denied. So basically, as you can see here, the conclusion I think I made is not too far off, that we're definitely over 1,000 customers on RippleNet, and that would basically be that 10% volume of SwiftNet, of Swift, SwiftNet, because 1,000 is roughly 10% of 11,000. And what else did I want to say? I basically think the figures make quite some sense, and that's basically it what I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to kind of tell everyone, if someone tries to tell you that Ripple is just selling XRP to maintain operations, please let them explain how a 550 or 30 people strong company can pay salaries with 12 million per quarter sales in XRP. It's just not possible. Even with 100 million it wouldn't be possible. So that's it from my side. Today we'll make it pretty short, depending also on how many people join. 50 is not too bad for the short announcement like an hour ago. So now I'm there for you guys. I hope you hear me. Beard is growing rather uneven. It's like really ugly. By the way, from a guy who has contact with Miguel Villas, I learned that it actually indeed looks like Miguel left Ripple, but it's unknown where he went to, which I think is kind of weird. I mean, but nevertheless, I mean, Ripple has a team. I think this woman, Brad Manigan or something, I don't remember her name. She's responsible for the XRP market. Maybe there was a how do you say, is it called twist? Not twist. A fight between her and Miguel, because initially I think Miguel was the head of the group, and from my last research I did, it looked like this woman took over. Maybe that was part of the reason he left, but really it's just something we can speculate on. I could also imagine that he went looking for a more strategic position in another, I don't know, area where he can take care of XRP better. Maybe the move was actually planned in order to separate XRP and Ripple even more. I really don't know. Brian, thanks you, Dorothy. Do you know her last name as well? Yes, that's what he said basically in November. And that rumor in November, I think, was interesting because for some reason people asked him if he's leaving too. And I mean, I to me it sounds. I still cannot believe that he just left and moved on to something totally different. I mean, a man in his position in Switzerland, he would have 6 month cancellation period, and that basically means that he would have lied to us in November. AK85, no, I don't think Ripple is interested in R3 at all. Madigan, thanks, Dorothy. Well, if you check those numbers, and let me, I think, did I create the PDF? I'm not sure. Let me quickly check. But I can create the PDF from those numbers. Please check those numbers and tell me where I'm wrong. Nope, I didn't create the PDF from that one yet, so I will have to do that. So check the numbers. I think it makes quite a lot of sense, and actually I did some more calculations. I talked about those with Manuel, a Swiss follower of mine, and the interesting thing is, like, from whatever angle and perspective I try to do some calculations, I always end up kind of having the same picture. And this is, I mean, either I'm totally stupid and 100% wrong, or then I'm making something really not too bad here. Same thing, I believe, David C. I mean, it was definitely the main objective from Miguel Villas getting XRP as liquid as foreign exchange, FX. That's what he mentioned in this interview, I think it was early 2017. And there he said, the moment when XRP will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange next to the foreign exchange prices, that's when XRP is liquid. Yes, I can leave the numbers on screen. just tell me which ones. Well, basically, those here are the numbers of those different payment systems we know of, and my extrapolations basically are those here. No, I'm not yet having a new job, and as a matter of fact, I started doing a CV. But as a CV requires a nice picture, and I'm currently rather not looking nice, I was thinking of, I just let my thoughts go astray, and I thought maybe I should put a picture of my dog or a tree or something. While thinking about that, I thought, well, how could I explain that they do not see a picture of myself? And while I was thinking about that process, I thought, well, maybe I really need to do an application in a totally different way. And then I figured I want to do something totally dynamic, like a web page, something where they can play around a little bit and search for the information themselves, rather than presenting them a PDF they can read. And I did one afternoon, but that's now, I don't know, about 6 weeks in the past. I created a kind of server with Node.js. I didn't have any idea about Node.js before, and the rough prototype is working, but it's not looking nice yet, so that part I will need to be doing. But anyway, I will just apply for jobs where I really think that this could be something, and I haven't seen one so far which I really could be interested. And the good thing is, I think in Switzerland, when you live off money of the government, I don't know if it's 60 or 80%. I think, no, let me phrase it the other way around. Usually the government makes you need to accept a job, I think, if it's not less than 80% of your salary you had before. So if you earned 100,000, you do not need to agree for a job for 75,000. 80,000 should be okay. And because I was really earning quite good before, it'll be anyway hard for me to find a job in the current market, even at 80%. So basically I'm kind of on the safe side from that perspective as well. But that's just, I mean, I literally don't think, maybe, I still think, I'm a bit nervous right now, honestly. And I told that 2 months ago, that maybe in May I'm getting a bit nervous, but I received quite a huge bonus still from my old company, and that gives us some headroom for a few months into the future. So I'm actually not that worried, really. ISO 222 AK85 is asking. Well, actually, ISO is I don't know, it's called Gremium. in English as well, which is responsible for defining standards. And in the payments area, business, I don't know, whatever you want to call that, there hasn't been a payment message standard, but they came up with one, this ISO 222 standard, and the idea was that like all those big payment networks would require the participants to migrate to that standard, because it makes it more easy to exchange messages. Let me give you an example. You all know WhatsApp, and most of you might know Telegram, and in Switzerland they have actually created another like kind of chat. There are WeChat, there are many different one of those, but they're all using a proprietary protocol, so you cannot send a message from WhatsApp to Telegram. You have to copy and paste the message, and that would be the case, or is the case today, because those systems are using a different format for sending payments. And the ISO 222 standard will make the interconnection of those different payment networks way easier. RippleNet has been ISO 222 compliant from day one. So for me that's not really huge news. I'm pretty sure they're just in that group who is discussing further evolvement of the standard to make sure that the RippleNet can support it. But I mean, whatever I know about RippleNet and the engineers who designed it, I mean, they have done an amazing job, and I'm totally not worried that even if there came, I mean, they will anyway not change the standard like totally. They might add a new field for something, but that'll be literally a no-brainer for Ripple. David C., don't interpret everything. Don't try to theorize anything. I mean, it's literally just best sit and wait. I'm literally not interested in news about Ripple. I mean, I read it, but I'm not like frantically searching Twitter and other channels daily anymore. I did a research recently on one of the forums on posts. David Schwartz posted, and I came across some jewels from way in the past, 2016 and 17, and I tweeted about it. But I mean, for me it's basically it's just one more puzzle piece or mosaic piece in the whole picture, which makes the picture more complete. But that XRP is the standard, I anyway have zero doubt. I mean, one thing which I still find very, very strange is the fact that we, XRP investors and people interested in Ripple, the company, know that there is literally no better solution as an RTGS system. Actually, the S is system already. Than RippleNet. And the interesting thing about that is that literally in not one of the talks from those guys giving interviews names Ripple. Yet, roughly a year ago, I think it was in May 2019, when the Swiss National Bank held this conference where, like, I don't know, 50 central bankers and regulators from all around the world were invited. The only company from the private sector was Ripple. And that's really freaking amazing. How can Ripple make it into such a group, and yet no one talks about it? When you listen to like everyone has tape on his mouth. So, I didn't plan for an hour. We're getting close to half an hour today, and I also realized that we're maybe a bit tired today. So basically, I am waiting for last question, and then we will stop here. I want to thank you for your trust, for your support, for your continuous support. Just keep holding strong. I mean, I told it in my last normal live stream on a Tuesday. There's literally nothing which needs to be said about XRP and Ripple anymore. Everything has been said. Either you believe it, that it'll come, or you don't. Exactly, David C. And who will forget about the Harpy? I told that in another example, maybe a year back. I mean, that's like not thinking about the heartbeat or the engine which drives the whole thing. It's like a car manufacturer producing a car and just forgetting about the engine. I mean, no one will buy that car. And with the proposed between 1,000 and 3,000 customers, telling by those figures, I'm pretty sure we're on a good way. Exactly like a birdie, you say. An idiot, but there are some idiots who still don't get their head wrapped around that. So, with that, I basically leave you guys alone. Wish you a nice weekend. Stay tuned for another video. Thanks. Bye bye.